Well, it was just about us accommodating Brooklyn. They had a conflict with, I think, a baseball game on their field on the original date, so they asked us if we could play this game on the 7th, which is this weekend, on Saturday. And I felt it was actually good for us to get back into the swing of things instead of, this long period of time without having any games. And then, possibly not being as sharp going into the thick of things coming up in about 2 weeks. So I welcomed it, and I feel the players did too. They're eager to get out there and compete. So that's the way it panned out.
And what do you look at when you think about, you've played Brooklyn obviously in the fall, but approaching the spring with the new additions and everything, how is this approach maybe a little bit different?
No, I mean, I feel like Brooklyn is a team that, they're pragmatic in the way they approach each game. Sometimes they will try to play, and sometimes, especially against us, it's been the case where they just kind of play direct and very physical and try to get us off of our rhythm. And they were successful in doing that in the last game we played here, or actually over there in Brooklyn. But, it's a challenge for us, and that's something that I've been challenging our players to be able to step up and match that physicality and their direct play and be able to absorb that. And then, obviously there are certain things that we want to do differently as well in terms of our play on the ball. So we've been working on it, and I feel the team is prepared to go out and get the result we want.
Now that the weather has, at least for now, knock on wood, kind of calmed down from the elements you were dealing with to start the spring season, how has that affected maybe things that you've wanted to implement, especially again with a new roster of players? How has that maybe affected with it being a little bit warmer, being able to maybe implement things a little bit quicker?
Yeah, I mean, outside of a couple of days ago, we've been able to be out and train outside on a big field. So, especially with the players that have been brought in, and we're trying to integrate them into our system and the way we want to play, it's been helpful. I wish we had those days that we lost back in early in the second half of the season before the Jacksonville game and the Tampa game. But I felt, considering the situation and us not having trained as much as we can outdoors, and the players that have come in, we started with some good results. Two road games, 4 points. One was against the top team in the league. So happy about that, but we just got to continue our trend moving forward, and that's playing better and better each time, and hopefully get above the playoff line and really make a move towards the top of the table.
I haven't talked to you since you all signed Sarah Rose-Delco on loan from the Washington Spirit. I just wanted to gauge what you've seen from her so far in your interaction with her since she's joined the squad.
Yeah, I mean, we did our study in terms of, the player that she is and how she can help us. Obviously, we were concerned with times where maybe Morgan Aquino is not available, and we wanted to have a third keeper anyway. And this was an opportunity for us to get a third keeper, and she will play, depending on, again, the situation with our current goalkeeper, she will play when needed. And if she's not needed, we trust in the two that we have. But this weekend, Morgan is not available, so Sarah is going to join us on the trip to Brooklyn.
Okay, and she's available to start, and you haven't decided between her or McKenna for who gets the starting nod?
I think in my head I've decided, but I'm not going to say anything.
I got you. Speaking of Morgan, she was a late addition to the Australia national team squad. I saw the picture with her and Carly and Katrina when Philippines and Australia played each other. First off, how does that make you feel as a coach to see not just your players representing internationally, but on the other side of the world, away from this, and just how far that this team's ties have kind of reached with those players?
Yeah, I mean, it brings attention to the team, but also it's good for the players. They're representing their countries at the same time they're playing professionally here in the United States. So it's a win-win situation for everybody, and I think anytime you have a chance to represent your country and play at the international level, you should take advantage of it, because there are high-level games, and there are pressure situations. So it's only going to help players in their performance down the road.
And with the international break being 3 games for these national teams and them being gone for so long, especially again on the other side of the world, does that hinder their status for next week's home opener, or do you expect them all to be available for selection then?
Well, they will be available for selection. It's a matter of, once they hit the ground here and they come into training, seeing, okay, are they fatigued from that long travel, or what kind of shape they're in, and then make a decision from there. The good thing, again, with the addition of the players that we brought in mid-season, we have a longer bench, we have a stronger bench, just overall a stronger roster. So if we are missing some players at times because of international call-ups, I think we're covered pretty good.